Hello, everybody, and welcome. All thanks to LD Mobile. It's NBL Overtime, and what is an historic, exciting day. We've called for it. We've got it. Big yarn. We're going to get to that very shortly. And what is a big day as well for the Hawks? Because this man can flat out score. I speak of Tyler Harvey. He's going to join us in around 10 minutes' time. He is a baller. We'll get to all that and plenty more. Hello, boys. Liam, Santa Maria, Homicide, what's up?
What's going on?
What?
All right. Let's start with a little what I like to call Cam story time.
Ooh.
Because for people who know me, I'm a fairly reserved character. I don't really have many people come over to my house, and I don't wear and I don't wear jerseys. And I entered 2020 with one jersey that I would wear, which of course the personalised Luke NBL Overtime jersey that I, in fact, true story, gave away to a fan of the show.
Oh, wow.
Who hit me up. So I went into 2020 with no jersey that I would put on. I'm reserved. No one has my address. And I'll tell you this. When I was eating my cornflakes this morning around 6:30 a.m. and my bell rings in a heavily secured building, I panicked. When I went downstairs and there was a little package there, it even made me more nervous. But because I'm a courageous human being, I opened it. And because I live through all my rules.
Uh-oh. Let's get a good look at it.
I don't even know how to put a jersey on.
Oh, he's done a Greg Hunt right off the bat.
Look at this. Well, I was going to put it on backwards so people could see it, but I promised that when Yanni enters the NBL, now I did think it was going to be, I did think it was going to be a Breakers jersey. I would wear it for the show. It is here. 2-year deal. Second one's a player option. Our man Yanni Wetzell is in the league.
Wow. Hashtag NBL Overtime Yanni.
Oh,
Get involved.
what a world.
Yanni
Wetzell jersey.
NBL Overtime.
I tell you,
With his jersey.
Oh, I speak
hasn't
Wetzell
even
into
played the
existence,
game
but
yet.
I don't get a jersey.
well, you got a
Oh,
finder's fee, I assume. You got a finder's fee?
I got
2-year deal, player option, out of San Diego State. The big Kiwi finds himself. He's fun to watch. We're pumped. And even better for us, we are Melburnians. He's in our backyard. We're going to be able to see him play every home
God.
game. I can't wait. Never been more excited. 2-year deal. He signed to the Phoenix. Liam?
Hold on.
hang on.
I've been told my jersey's in my mailbox.
Okay, off
You
you
lied.
go. There you go. Hey, I tell you what, while Liam hopefully gets his jersey, it is exciting because he's a young man who can play some ball. He's a big bruiser, pick and roll type of player as well. Energy guy, which I know you love, Homicide. It's going to be fun to watch.
Oh, my God, man. I can't believe Yanni Wetzell has not even played a game in the NBL, and his jersey has hit NBL Overtime. Good luck to him. Congratulations. I know you're going to work hard. I know you're excited to be a part of the Phoenix and the NBL. You know this is not a cupcake league, and I expect you to bring it. So good luck, young fella.
There it is.
Yay!
Yay! Wetzell. Can't wait.
Love it.
Can't wait.
Oh, my God.
He's going to be fun to watch. Of course, Liam Santa Maria flagged it. For people who do know me, they know that I have no life, so I spend every waking moment watching sports. So I've seen a little bit of him play at San Diego State. Of
What
course,
do you think of him, Cam?
I love him. And I'll tell you something else. And I know this is probably being a bit harsh because they were a really good team, but they lost their conference championship final. He was huge. While a couple other players didn't probably play as well as they had for the season, and I'm not writing them off, but it was a guy, I think he had 12 and 13 boards that day. He's full of energy. He's a high pick and roll guy. He can move. I like him. I'm a little upset because you said he's going to come off the bench, Liam, but I'll allow that for the time being. What do you make of it? Obviously, the article on nbl.com.au you've written. Break it down a little bit more.
Well, I obviously didn't hear what Corey said, so I might be doubling up a little bit here, but I love his energy. I love the way he goes about it. 6'10", big, broad shoulders. Kid's only been playing, I mean, I call him a kid, he's 24 years of age, but he's only been playing the game for 7 years. Had a background in tennis, a la Chris Anstey, moves his feet really well, great hand-eye coordination as a result, and then grew. You know, it's one of those stories where he had a dramatic growth spurt, took up the game, and has really developed since then. And as you say, a starter putting up good numbers on the number 6 ranked team in the nation last year that went 30-2. And He can run the floor really well. I said in my write-up today that I see shades of a young Aaron Baines. Doesn't have the big, strong physical presence perhaps that Bainesy does, but similar numbers coming out of college, and just plays with a high motor and a great work ethic. And I think he's probably a couple of years away from being a real impact guy at the pro level, but when he gets there, because he's on a slightly different development curve to most guys his age, I think he's going to be a really good pro.
Yeah, no doubt. Going to be fun to watch. And I'm going to go one step further. Yanni, I don't know how much time you spent in Melbourne, but when we're out of lockdown and we've beaten this virus and the masks are off, I'm going to show you around the good cafes and the good brunch spots in Melbourne as well, because you need to get all those things down pat. I'm going to be his Melbourne mentor from a non-basketball point of view. You know what? Homicide can take him to all the hip joints like he did with the rookies back in the Townsville days. I'll take him to the brunch spots because I love my brunch.
You know, South East Melbourne Phoenix needs some people to do that, to sell him on this city and make him feel comfortable, because the second year's a player option. And as I said, he's a couple of years away from really impacting at the NBL level. So if they can get, if they can work with this guy long term, they've got something good on their hands.
Oh, I like it. I think you played a part in getting him here. Finder's fee, you mentioned him first. I'll take him around what happens in daytime in Melbourne, and Homicide can take him at night time. We've got him all covered, and he'll end up being a 12-year South East Melbourne Phoenix player, which we all want to see. All right. From Yanni to another excitement machine. Tyler Harvey's going to join us in a matter of seconds. But firstly, this guy can flat out ball. We're going to see his highlights of his 58-pointer in a minute in the G League. Went to Eastern Washington, which has a really deep connection to the NBL. A lot of Australians have played, but he can flat out score Liam Santamaria.
Can do that in a big way. Anytime you have a 58-point game in the G League, you are a bucket getter. Has played a couple of years in Europe and, can really score the ball. And, Corey, this is a man after your own heart. Started at Eastern Washington as a walk-on, redshirted his freshman year, ended his time there as the leading scorer in the nation, just spending hours and hours in the gym, turning himself into a baller.
I tell you this. Look, the Hawks, Ding Adele a couple days ago, Tyler Harvey is a dog, okay? And any man that starts as a walk-on and finishes leading the NCAA in scoring, you better watch out, man. That man is on a mission. You better be ready to go hard, because you can't start off as a walk-on, non-scholarship, to finishing number one in the nation in scoring. That's a dog. Watch out.
Score in college, score in the pros. Of course, we mentioned the 58-point game he had for Memphis in the G League. And as he's about to join us, let's have a look back on that game.
It's Harvey across the timeline for Memphis. Quick trigger three. Hustle lead here. Harvey with a quick trigger three. Banks it in. 23-14. It's been Harvey's quarter here in quarter number one. Gets a ball screen from Nino Johnson. Harvey off the win. A member of the hustle, and now it's going to be Harvey for three from the right wing, and that's good. Phillips. Here's Harvey. Pulls up from three. Got it. A member of the hustle, and now it's going to be Harvey for three from the right wing, and that's good. Phillips. Here's Harvey. Pulls up from three. Got it. Tillman back to Harvey. Frees up. Jump shot on the way, and at the lead back to single digits at 9. And there's a pretty...
That gives Marquise Moore a lot more playing time.
Harvey with it into the corner. Harvey catch, quick release three is good. Boy, he is just unconscious right now. Lead. Here's Harvey into the lane. Harvey with the left-hand layup. They kept it over to Casey. Now a little dribble handoff. Tyler looks to go to work. Step back three on the way, and a foul and a bucket. Chance for a 4-point play. You watch. Kick the foot out, and here's Harvey. 3-ball left wing, good. Going out of bounds into the hands of Harvey, and Harvey has an easy layup.
54 now for Harvey.
Here's Harvey. Tyler Harvey pulls up from three.
And he knew it. He was already to half court. Release 57 for Harvey.
Well, you haven't seen those highlights, Hawks fans. You're going to be excited right now. 58 points in the G League. As Liam touched on off the top of the show, 58 points anywhere in the world is nuts. Tyler Harvey is a walking bucket. The words of Corey Homicide, words that have been used a lot, and he joins us now. Tyler, as we welcome you to the NBL and NBL Overtime and soon to be Australia, congratulations, and we can't wait to see you in person donning the Hawks jersey.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me on. I'm definitely looking forward to coming down there and starting the season.
Hey, I've read, and this is nothing new, but I read the articles, read some quotes and that about Brian Goorjian and how much that swayed you to come down and be a part of his crew. What exactly was it like, that first meeting, or at least first conversation with the greatest of all time when it comes to winning?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard about Coach before, and, I talked to him a little bit last week, and I was sold right away. The winningest coach in Australian history, I mean, you can't beat that. So I'm definitely looking forward for that opportunity. And like I said, I can't wait. I'm so excited to go out there and kick it off.
Tyler, welcome to the league, mate. Great to have you on board. There was a quote from you in the press release this morning saying you've had your eyes on the NBL for some time. Have you had previous opportunities to come into this league?
There has been some times, it's been brought up throughout my career. I'm an Eastern Washington guy, and a lot of guys from my team have actually played over there. I've heard nothing but great things about the NBL. The league's growing constantly, and I think this year was the right time for me to go ahead and play in the NBL and, get going there.
Any man who starts their journey as a walk-on and finishes as the #1 scorer in NCAA is a dog, okay? So I don't even have to know anything else. Just knowing that tells me your mindset. What is the end goal this season for you as a team and individually? Is it to get back to the league? What do you want to do? What do you want this league to do for you?
Right. I was talking to Coach Goorjian about this as well. I try to take each season as it is. I try to really invest myself in the moment that I'm in and take advantage of that opportunity. Of course, I'm a winner and I want to come in and win games. It takes a team effort to do that, and we put together a great team so far. But I know Coach is going to help me maximize my potential as a player. And, not too often you get to play for the winningest coach in Australian sports history. So I can't wait to learn so much from him. I just love gaining knowledge wherever I go. And I think this is a good opportunity in my career to learn from the best. And I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Tyler, you mentioned obviously the roster that's coming together nicely for the Hawks. In particular this week, Deng Adele a couple of days ago announced, now yourself. Deng, have you played against him? Of course, G League. Did the fixtures work out? You actually went up against him? And if you haven't, have you seen much of him?
I haven't played against him. I have seen some highlights of him. He seems like an amazing player. I mean, he's going to be a great guy to play with. I'm looking forward to meeting everybody in person, obviously, with all this Corona stuff. I don't know when exactly that's going to be, but, I've seen the team that we put together so far, and I'm really excited, honestly. I can't wait.
How would you describe your game, Tyler, and what you'll bring to the Hawks?
I think I could do a lot of things. Obviously, scoring is what I'm known for, but I'm also a playmaker. I try to make the smart play. I study a lot of film. I'm real serious about my craft. I mean, I love basketball. Basketball has been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. So, I'm hoping to bring a little bit of everything for the Hawks, a leadership role. We have a young team, and, I'm just looking forward to help lead these guys to a successful season.
You've always been a big-time scorer, as we've touched on, but defensively, Brian Goorjian has traditionally been a defensive-oriented coach as well. With that discussion about it and your age and where you sit right now, defensively, does that appeal to you a little bit too, that he might be able to help you the other end and make you a more rounded player?
Of course. I mean, before I was a scorer, I had to learn how to get on the floor somehow, and defense was that way for me. So, of course, I'm willing to learn anything. I mean, I'm open for everything. Defense is also part of the game as well, and something I study. So, I'm looking forward for everything, man.
You are a seasoned pro. How excited? Like Australia, obviously you touched on with Eastern Washington teammates who have been here. Jacob Wiley was great in his 1 year here.
Yeah,
some Australians who went to Eastern Washington. What do you know about the country? Like the actual country, not just the league. What do you know? Do you know much about the country?
Honestly, I've heard nothing but great things about the country.
That's true.
I've never been personally, but whenever I bring up Australia, honestly, everything is just positive. So you can't help but smile when you actually realize you're going to play in such a great league in a great country.
Well, you love the beach, I'm assuming, being Californian.
Yeah, California guy, so I'm familiar with the beach.
You're going to be based in a pretty nice spot because a lot of nice beaches around where headquarters are. So that's a good start. There you go. It's a good start.
Great start.
Tyler, Corey spoke about your story before about starting as a walk-on at Eastern Washington and ending up nation's #1 scorer. I understand you were going to sign Division III. You're going to play Division III, and then you made the decision to walk on and redshirt your freshman year. It's a pretty phenomenal story. What does that story, do you think, tell us about you as a person and as a player?
I'm just relentless. I'm a guy who really doesn't give up. I had a goal of playing Division I since I was a kid. So if that's what it was going to take for me to do that, I was willing to take that chance and bet on myself. I've always been a hard worker. My parents instilled that in me at a young age and taught me that, if you work hard at something, you can achieve it. So that's just part of who I am. It's just part of my character. That's one thing that I base my life on. I'm a real faith-driven guy as well. I believe that God has a plan for me, and, this is where it led me. And, I can't wait for this opportunity.
I look forward to seeing you play.
Hey, Hummer, so give him some more. You got to tell. I'm not sure how much NBL overtime Tyler has been able to catch in recent years, but what Homicide does. Yeah, hey, you say that now. I guarantee in 6 months you'll be watching, because Homicide's our mentor here, and he players who come to the country, he gave LaMelo Ball and RJ Hampton a nice little pep talk. Give the man some motivational words, Homicide. Come on.
Any man, you got to understand, any man that can be a walk-on and finish his college career as the #1 scorer in NCAA, our wavelength is the same already.
Yes.
I look forward to seeing him play this season.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tyler. You've just made history, because you're the first player that we've had on this, and we totally agree with what Homicide's pushing, but he always has words of wisdom for all our players, soon-to-be or current players, and he's got none for you. So historic moment for NBL Overtime right now, because he hasn't dropped anything. So that's a great start.
Perfect. We're off to the right start here.
Hey, Tyler, you mentioned there was also in the release, you talked about the role that Mr. Colangelo played in the recruiting process. Tell us about your conversations with him around this team.
Yeah, so I got a chance to talk to Coach and, just everybody calling and, just getting the feel of, where I'm going to be, how's the team and, their vision for me. And, it's been really welcoming to have everybody. I'm so excited to, have me on board. And, that's what you want as a player. Going overseas is always tough. I have my wife with me as well. But feeling comfortable where you're going is always a great feeling. And, we feel comfortable already about the decision that we made to come up there.
What was that vision of you that they spelled out?
I can't lay out everything, but, we just really, we want to have a successful year. That's the goal. Last year obviously wasn't the best for the team. But we're wanting to change that this year, and it's not easy. Obviously, winning is hard, and you got to do the little things to win. But taking it one step at a time and day by day, you just want to gradually get better, and you want to start the season and look back at the beginning and say, okay, we got better every day.
Hey, we're excited. Hawks fans, neutral NBL fans right now, excited to see you come to the NBL and don the Hawks jersey and do what you do so particularly well. Can't wait for it. We'll see you hopefully sooner rather than later when we work out all the stuff that's going on, mate. But looking forward to seeing you soon.
I can't wait. Thanks for having you guys. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it.
Tyler Harvey, superstar. And I'll tell you what, we showed some highlights already. Let's watch just a little more of what this man can do.
We got Bubba, the Notre Dame fan, next to us. We'll get that answer in a bit. It's Harvey for three from the left corner, and he knocks one down. Good sign there for Tyler Harvey. He's struggled a bit tonight, knocking down the triple. Bayhawks score is here is Kabongo for three from the left corner, no good. Rebound Corsi. Harvey for three, right wing, and he hits. Instead of possibly number 45. Here's Harvey, top of the key, straight on three, got it. So Tyler Harvey with 3 threes here in the fourth quarter. Here's Jordan between the circles, down by 14, 2:35 to go. Harvey, tough three-pointer right wing, and he hits again. Hawks have it back, down by 13. 1:44 left. Harvey straight on bomb three-pointer, and he hits again. He's got 5 threes in the fourth quarter, 17 points on the night. Just getting fired in. So 111, 103. Jordan goes left side. Harvey, three-pointer, got another one. 5-point game on the floor. Kicks it up top to Davis. Gives it to Harvey. Another three-pointer. He hits again. Unbelievable. 24 seconds left. It's a 2-point game. Jordan Bayhawks have it back down by 2 with just less than a minute left. Jordan with a dribble drive into the lane. Kicks it right corner. Harvey for 3. Got it. Big shot for Tyler Harvey. His 8th 3 since the start of the fourth quarter. Play. He has it near the left hash with the dribble and a 1-point lead. To Harvey up top. He's going to jack up another three-pointer, and he hit another one! Unbelievable!
Hashtag NBL Overtime Hawks heads. Well, you're going to be excited, but we'd love to hear from you at NBL. Check it all out. He is a walking bucket. I like you put in the article, herky-jerky, his way he plays about his ball. He's going to play that combo guard, not dissimilar to Bryce Cotton. He's going to be very fun to watch, regardless, as I touched on, if you're a Hawks fan or otherwise, because the only time you're not going to like him is when he comes in and drops a mountain of points on your team.
Yeah, certainly a heap of talent. I mean, the fit is going to be super important, right? How well he fits alongside Dengadell. There's talk about Cambesto with the Hawks. Does that work? Another import. You imagine they're going to be in the next Stars game. It's just almost going to be just like a brand new roster, which, as we know, very hard to put a mix like that together and just have success in the first season. But we saw with the Taipans last year, bang, 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 putting a whole bunch of big-time players together. If it can fit together and you can make it work, you can have some success.
All right. So, Homicide, go on. Sorry.
And if anybody can get that done, it is Gorgeon. You know, if potentially Bairstow does sign, you know, he's familiar with the league. We know Gorgeon obviously is familiar with the league. Dengadell, these guys are fitting right. You know what I mean? And if I'm Dengadell and if I'm Harvey, right? One of the biggest things which nobody's ever going to publicly mention is Colangelo's in the front office. What do you think the sell is? Come over here, do your thing. We win. I'm going to get you to the show. This thing has the legs to work. And if Bairstow signs.
No. Come on, man.
Hold on.
I didn't say that. What are you talking about?
I'm not
going?
No, go on.
What I'm saying is that they're going to be a highly competitive team that you're just not going to guarantee a win. It's not a guaranteed win against them.
No.
That I agree with. But every other time you've started with, if this happens and you've done this for a split second and pause, it's been they're either going to win a title or they're going to make the playoffs.
I told you where I'm at with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that's not no easy win.
No, yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's not an easy win.
No, you're right.
Make no mistake about that.
And something I think they're doing really well is they're putting together, an interesting team to watch. Like, they're going to be great to watch. It's going to be fun. Now, Gorge obviously mentioned, I think to you, Liam, when he joined you on NBL Overtime a couple of weeks ago, that, his traditional hardcore defense style just might be tweaked a little bit and have a bit more high octane, which is, looking at some of the way that these guys are signing, might be a suggestion towards it.
Well, what do you actually say? He still wants to play tough D.
Oh, I'm not saying he's throwing defense out the window.
Well, it's interesting though. I mean, neither Dengadell or Tyler Harvey are known as premier defenders, right? And they're their two marquee signings thus far. But Gorge knows, you need to defend at a high level if you're going to win in this league. That's just how it works. But he did say, my style offensively, which was a little slower, a little bit more of a grinded out, pounded in sort of approach, I'm going to need to open that up a little bit in the modern game. And we talk about fit. I actually quite like the fit of Harvey and Dengadell. You're not bringing in two guys there as your sort of 1 and 1A scoring options who do the same thing. Adele, you want filling lanes, getting downhill, and getting his head on the rim. And Harvey does most of his work from on the perimeter. So, so far, so good in terms of putting those pieces together.
Talking, and it's actually led me into something because it's interesting. They're filling this roster. Cambesto was spoken a lot about. The rumors are that he's going to end up at the Hawks as well, which is going to lead me into what I'm going to play a little game of in or out. And I'm going to ask you boys, going to throw some names towards you. And one, if they will be in the league in the NBL, and two, if they'll be maybe at their old club or somewhere new. And we might start with the Hawks, because AJ Ogilvy we've spoken a fair bit about, but I think that's a continuing conversation as well. But Dave Anderson towards obviously the end of his career. And Tim Conrad are two players that are yet to sign a deal. I'll start with you, Liam, with those two men, Anderson and Conrad. Do you expect them to be in the NBL? If not, at the Hawks, where?
Well, good question. Let me deal with Tim Conrad first.
Mm-hmm.
If he's anywhere, he's in Illawarra.
Yep.
I mean, in Wollongong for the Hawks.
Yes.
Because, I mean, his roots are down there. He's got his business set up, his family set up. I don't see him moving elsewhere to take a deal like what he would get offered.
Mm-hmm.
But I like him as a guy to re-sign for sure. You think of the guys that they have on their depth chart coming off the bench at the 3 and the 4 right now, Dan Greeter and Deng Deng. I think having a guy like Conrad who still has some good ball to play, to add some experience and some reliability in those spots as a reserve would be a smart play. As for Dave Anderson, there are some teams that need more depth in the front court. And
hold that thought for 1 second. Conrad in the NBL next year, Homicide?
Yep.
Yeah. That'll do. Just on Anderson, because what you mentioned, Mika Vukona. You can sort of group those two together in that conversation, and sorry to interrupt, but you're right, because there are some teams, as you continue, who need that sort of leadership, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And probably Vukona, I would say, is more likely to maybe not be on the floor in NBL 21, which is massive. I mean, we talk about Ben Madgen and Ty Wesley and Kevin Lish and Damian Martin. We don't know what's going on with Andrew Bogut. Well, Mika Vukona, four-time NBL champ, and an absolute legend of the league, may or may not be playing. So we wait to see how that works out. I think Corey flagged he could work well on the coaching staff there with the Bullets as a potential maybe injury replacement, or see what happens with Magna if he goes overseas. So we wait to see. But yes, definitely Dave Anderson, I think, would be a savvy pickup for a team needing veteran experience and depth in the front court.
You raised it, Homicide. Imagine that coaching staff, which of course is already there. Lamanis, McKinnon, Bruton, Vukona, if that's in the way that it does go. It's a pretty decent pitch if you're a new recruit, not necessarily this year, but in future years if you're talking to the Bullets about getting a gig.
Definitely. I do like Dave Anderson with the Hawks, though. Still has a full year to give. You got to remember, he didn't play last year because of injury, and there was no reason to bring him back when he did get healthy. But so he has legs left to play at least one more season full, and he can get buckets still. He was super reliable when he played Melbourne United, and he was reliable the year before when he played with Illawarra. So I think that he still has a full year left, and I think he would want to play because you want to go out on your terms.
I think it's fair to say he wants to play. I don't think that's a conversation at all. Talking big men, yes, Liam?
And just to add, if you've got Sam Froling and you're looking to kind of let him bloom this year and play him a bunch of minutes, having a guy with the veteran experience that Dave Anderson has to support him and to back him up works well.
Alex Pledger, talking big men. Of course, Melbourne United last year, and actually played some good basketball in the first half of the year before I think that ankle injury really curtailed his momentum and struggled to get back into that flow when he did come back towards the playoffs and into it. So, Alex Pledger, we expect him to be in the league, Liam?
Not sure.
It's interesting, though, isn't it? Because this is a conversation we didn't think I know it's a weird year, but we would have less than 12 months ago.
Yeah, I know. I mean, again, a four-time champ, a guy who has been a valuable contributor to a lot of really, really good teams. I think, when you look at a guy's 33, he's a footer with foot problems, foot or ankle problems, teams start to get a little wary about that. So, again, there are a number of, you talk about AJ Ogilvy, Dave Anderson, Alex Pledger, there are Daniel Kickett. There are a number of these veteran big guys out there. And I don't think all of them are going to be in the league.
Do you think Dan Kicker will get a game, Homicide?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
So interesting because before Andrew Bogut came in the league, teams weren't really going for premier centers. Like that wasn't really the focus for rosters. But the Bogut effect allowed teams to immediately, we need big men. We need big men. We need centers, legitimate centers to just attempt to defend them and match up against him. But being that he's not playing, that's probably not really that much of a priority.
You sure he's
right
not playing?
now. I mean, he's not on the roster.
It's a great point.
Yeah, it is.
You know, like Bogut, Sean Long, last few years, teams have been like, what are we going to do when we come up against those teams? We got to make sure we got a guy. We've got to go make sure we got a Miles Plumlee ready to go at that dude and handle him, which is potentially, if teams are, and they do look to be doing what you're saying there, Corey, which is going, okay, well, if he's not playing, we can spend that money elsewhere. We can do something a little differently. Potentially an incredible ace up the King's sleeve if he turns around in January, February and says, yeah, let's make this work the rest of the way.
It's hard to put together a roster knowing that Sydney and Bogut could actually make this work at some point, depending on how the next couple of months do fill out. Just on Cam Oliver. Of course, as you touched on last week, if he's in the NBL, we expect him to be a Cairns. That's no argument. But the big Euro cash and the huge offer and interest towards him makes it obviously a much different conversation. Do you expect him, Liam, to be in the NBL or in Europe?
Sadly, I think right now I expect him to be in Europe. As you said, if he is here, almost certain he's going to be with the Taipans. But hey, like I flagged last week, when we saw this with Jacob Wiley, when Panathinaikos start offering money, buyouts and things like, it's not a problem for these teams. So with the types of clubs that are interested in Cam Oliver, Maccabi Tel Aviv, Olympiacos, Bayern Munich, once that starts, it's over.
How about Jared Kenny? Not signed, played at Cairns last year, Homicide. This is a guy who has been around for a long time, played obviously for the Tall Blacks. He's a championship winner, knows what he can do. Do you expect him to play in the NBL 21?
Yeah, I think he should be the backup like he was last year behind Machado. I think he's earned that. I think everybody on that team has actually earned their contract for this upcoming season, especially players that played and added value on the court. He's earned it.
Liam, are you hearing that he'll be back?
I feel similarly about him. I think I'm just really waiting for announcements with regards to Nate Jawai and Jared Kenny. I think those deals should get done in Cairns for all the reasons that Corey laid out. And I think if they do get that done and that gets laid out there, I think it will be a really good play, partly because Perth Wildcats are out there looking for a backup point guard. And I spoke before about how Trevor Gleeson does like to have a bit of a veteran guy in that spot who can hold his own. I wouldn't be surprised if he is looking. I spoke about Kevin White perhaps, but also looking back and say, well, geez, Jared got the job done for us and we won a title with him. So to lock him back up would be a smart play for the Snakes.
Hashtag NBL Overtime to get involved. Now, I don't want to go too far, but we're going to have Yanni Wetzell on the show next week, right?
Is he joining the panel?
I'm assuming so.
What's he doing on Tuesdays?
I don't know, Yanni. Big shout out to you, man. Hey, join us next week. Anything else kicking around before we let you go, Liam? You hear anything else? Of course, NBL Free Agency Market Watch is pretty much been clocked with Yanni in the signing. So NBL Overtime from now on in. What do you got for us, Homicide?
Why did we not mention Kevin White? He played last year.
Because Liam already sort of suggested last week that he might be at the Wildcats.
Okay.
But we can mention Kevin White again.
Yeah, I think that he'd be perfect for the Wildcats. Hard nose. You know what he's going to bring defensively. Like that is Perth Wildcat DNA all the way. He would be a solid backup. I mean, look, listen. Here's the reality of it, man. Things occur off the court. That has nothing to do with how you play on the court. Gleason really doesn't care about anything like that anyway. As long as he knows you're going to show up in between those lines, that's all he really cares about. And we know Kevin White shows up in between the lines. So that would not be a bad pickup at all.
Liam, anything else before we get out of here?
No, thanks to the Phoenix.
Yeah, thanks to the Phoenix.
I'm about to put my mask on, go for a walk.
Yeah.
Throw this right off.
Hashtag NBL Overtime. We'll be back. Don't forget NBL Rewind later in the week. Check Gibbo's podcast as well, where you get all your NBL podcasts and plenty more. Until then, see you, boys.
Peace.